let's read a book. The Shoelace Box. The Shoelace Box by Elizabeth Winthrop, illustrated by Kathy Wilburn. Stephen was getting bigger every day. He was tall enough to push the number 7 button on the elevator. He was tall enough to get his own juice cup out of the cupboard, and he could even pour his own juice. He could count to 20 and say the alphabet and write his name in big letters. But there was one thing Stephen could not do. "I don't know how to tie my shoes," Stephen told his parents. "That isn't hard to learn," said his father. "I'll show you right now." They sat down together and Stephen's father showed him how to make one big loop and then another. "That looks easy," said Stephen. "They look like rabbit ears." But when he tried it, his shoes suddenly seemed very far away and his knee kept bumping into his chin. Worst of all, his rabbit ears kept falling apart. "Never mind," said his father. "It takes practice. We'll try again tomorrow." Every day that week, Stephen tried to tie his shoes. Every day, his rabbit ears fell apart. "Make the ears a little smaller," said his mother. "Don't pull so quickly," said his father. "My knee keeps getting in the way," said Stephen. One rainy day, Stephen wore his boots to school. "No shoes to tie," he said to himself. "I'll wear my boots every day." But on sunny days, his feet got hot, and it was hard to play kickball wearing big red rubber boots. Miss Barnett, Stephen's teacher, sent a note home. It said, "Please make sure Stephen doesn't wear his boots to school when it is not raining." Stephen kept trying to tie his shoelaces, but it just seemed to get harder. Every morning he sat on his bed and made big loops and small loops, but they always fell apart. He was late for school. He tripped over his laces all day long. One afternoon in the schoolyard, Stephen's shoe fell off right in the middle of relay race. The other kids laughed. "Stephen, go over to the side and put on your shoe, please," said Miss Barnett. "Tie those laces real tight this time." Stephen wanted to say, "I don't know how to tie those dumb shoelaces," but he didn't dare. He was sure all the other kids knew how to tie their shoes. They were never late in the morning. Their shoes never fell off in the middle of a race. He tucked his laces into his shoes and went to the back of the line. Then it happened again, right there in front of everybody. His shoe fell off for the second time. Stephen's team lost the relay race. Stephen was so mad. He kicked his shoe all the way over to the door. Miss Barnett took Stephen's hand. "Come with me," she said. "I have a surprise for you." Back in the classroom, Miss Barnett took out a box. She punched 6 holes in the top. Then she threaded a long string back and forth through the holes and tied a bow at the end. She wrote, "Stephen's Shoelace Box," on the front and gave it to Stephen. "You can practice tying your shoelaces here," she said with a smile. Stephen put the shoelace box inside his desk so the other kids wouldn't see it. Every day when nobody was looking, Stephen practiced tying the lace on his shoelace box. It was much easier because his knees didn't get in the way. Every day his knots got a little tighter and his loops got a little smaller. Then one day he tied the shoelace perfectly. "Miss Barnett," he cried, "I did it! I tied the shoelace on the shoelace box." Stephen was so excited that he forgot to hide the box. Everybody came over to see what he was talking about. "Let's see, Stephen," said Miss Barnett. So Stephen tied the shoelace on the shoelace box in front of the whole class. Then he tied the shoelaces on his own shoes in front of the whole class. Then he tied the shoelaces on his own shoes in front of the whole class. Everybody cheered. Then they all started to talk at once. "I need a shoelace box too. My sister still ties my shoes for me." While everybody was talking, Stephen looked down at his friend's shoes. Some laces were tucked inside the shoes the way his used to be. Others were straggling out on the floor. 2 kids were wearing boots even though it was a sunny day. Stephen smiled. The next day, everybody brought in one shoelace and a box from home. Soon the whole class had shoelace boxes, and soon the whole class knew how to tie the shoelaces on their very own shoes. The end. The shoelace box. He figured it out. Practice makes perfect.